I'm Jake, 32. Wife Sarah, 31. Married 7 years. Sounds normal, right? Wrong. We met at 19. Club scene, both party animals. God, we were stupid. Our relationship? Rocky as hell from the start. Fighting, making up, repeat. I was a jerk, if I'm honest. Had a friends with benefits thing going on the side. Yeah, I know. Terrible move. 2 years of that nonsense. I decided to grow up. Cut off the side chick. Sarah and I got closer. Finished college. I started a small IT business. She kicked off her career. Things looked good. I even did the whole romantic Hawaii proposal. Felt like a darn movie. Then it all went downhill. Months before the wedding, guilt hit me like a truck. Everyone saw Sarah as this perfect, innocent girl, made my past feel even worse. I freaked out for weeks. Sarah said we'd work through it. We got married. These last 7 years, pure hell. Not your marriage is hard crap. I'm talking crazy town. Sarah fell into depression, blamed me for everything. Every damn day. Made me feel worthless. Love, romance, dead and buried. Her drinking spiraled. I've lost count of the times she's punched me. Been bitten, needed stitches. Once she stabbed me in the head with a wine glass. Who does that? Sex life? What sex life? Months without touching. COVID hit, she moved to the guest room. For a year. Few months back, suicide attempt, pills and booze. I spent Easter in the hospital. Then 3 weeks of rehab. She was supposed to keep going to therapy. Hasn't gone once. Back to drinking daily. The screaming never stops. I'm a piece of trash. I've ruined her life. She hates me. Meanwhile, I'm keeping us afloat. She's had 15 jobs in 7 years. None lasted more than a few months. Guess why? I've paid every bill since day one. I even send money to her family overseas. Always there for her and her folks. Does she do the same for me? Ha! Bought a house recently. Thought a fresh start might help. Paid for it myself, of course. We've been talking kids. Crazy, right? All this house and kids talk sent Sarah into a drunken rage. She was angry I never want to discuss my old FWB situation. Can you blame me? After years of getting torn apart over it, I shut down. Especially when she's drunk. After the blow-up, I realized my silence made her think I was lying. So we talked. Really talked. Didn't say anything new, but at least we got through it. We've had hundreds of these drunken heart-to-hearts. Is there anything else I should know? She always said no. Something felt off, but I tried to make peace with it. Then the bomb dropped. She let it slip, had sex with another guy, her ex from another state, a year before we got married. It all came rushing back. This weird thing when we were dating. She left her phone with me one night. Texted saying she was heading home, then an email popped up. Hotel booking, she was supposed to be at work. I lost it. Drove to the hotel next morning. Over an hour away. Saw her car, got her room number, stormed in like a madman, screaming security, the works. But she was alone. I got kicked out. She made me feel insane. Said she needed space from work, cheapest hotel she could find. God, I was an idiot. Turns out I was just early. Third time they'd hooked up. She tried to explain. Said I couldn't understand. They had real love and affection. Wanted each other so much. Didn't have that with me. I've been in shock for days. Not surprised she cheated, really. But the love she had for this guy, while I did all the work, that cut deep. Get this, he's getting married soon. I'm tempted to ruin his life. Haven't. Yet. Didn't blow up at Sarah right away. I'd cheated too, so fair game, right? Needed time to process. But wait, there's more. So much more. Turns out she'd been cheating most of our dating and engagement. I didn't own her, she says. We weren't married, but it wasn't equal. I feel used. My friends thought I was nuts letting her go clubbing alone. I trusted her friends. But girls' night meant getting drunk and hooking up. I'll never know the full extent. Here's what I do know. Had sex with 2 exes in our first year. Lesbian relationship with her friend. The entire time we dated. Invited her to our wedding. They'd go clubbing, make out all night, then have sex. Another experience with a different female friend. Had sex with the ex I mentioned earlier. At least 3 times, maybe more. 2 random guys in nightclub bathrooms. No protection. Within 6 months of our wedding, making out with countless people whenever she went out without me. And that's just what she's told me so far. How do I deal with this? This woman has used me, abused me, manipulated me, physically and emotionally assaulted me. I put up with it all because I felt guilty about my own mistakes. For 7 years, she's attacked me daily for hurting her. Never tried to forgive, never tried to love me. Our marriage has been nothing but pain and misery. I can't understand how she did this. Yeah, I was a fool too. People do stupid things. Sounds like she had a blast, so I doubt she regrets it. But here's the kicker. I was never wrong. Every time I was suspicious, crap was going down behind my back. Our early marriage was hell. The hate, the lies. Once found her booking secret hotels again. She'd lost her job, didn't tell me, used what little money she had on a hotel room, while we were struggling financially. Every single time she let me down. Now she's depressed and ashamed, says she didn't know what real love was. Now she feels it with me. I'm her entire world, apparently. Says she struggled with being bisexual, had to hide it. Nonsense. I've always known she was bi, never held it against her, would have been open to exploring it together. But she keeps using her sexuality as an excuse, while reminding me she'd never be okay with sharing me. That's been my last week. I'm not handling it well. When I'm not drinking, I'm breaking down. I've given this woman everything. All she's done is take and use it against me. The only thing I know is that I don't know anything. I don't trust a word she says. She's used stories like this before to break me, only to take it back later. Now I wonder if any of it was made up. I work from home. She's an unemployed bum, around 24/7. Don't think anything's happened recently. But it feels too late. It'll happen again. It wasn't just a few times, it was ridiculous. How can I have a family with this woman? There's so much I don't know. Not that it matters now, I guess. 2 main issues. 1. How she's treated me during this marriage. If what she says is true, I never deserved this treatment. 2. The betrayal. I've sacrificed everything for her. The last incident was over 7 years ago. But these 7 years have been hell. I was ready to leave at the rehab stage. Things were that bad. Sorry for the novel. If you made it this far, thanks for listening. This has been the worst week of my life. I'm not holding up well. How do I survive this? I don't think I'll ever be the same person again. Here's the text with the requested changes. After Sarah dropped that bomb about her ex, I thought that was it. How much worse could it get, right? Darn me, I was so wrong. The next few days, it's like she couldn't stop confessing. One thing after another. And when I say everything, I mean every darn thing. Turns out she'd been cheating pretty much our entire relationship. Dating, engaged, you name it. She kept saying, I didn't own her, we weren't married. Like that makes it okay? Yeah, I messed up too, but this wasn't just a one-time thing. This was a whole secret life. My buddies always said I was nuts letting her go clubbing solo. I trusted her, you know. Trusted her friends too. But girls' night was basically, let's get wasted and hook up with whoever. I'll never know everything, but here's the highlight reel. 1. Slept with 2 exes in our first year. 2. Full-on lesbian relationship with her friend. The entire time we dated. She even invited this chick to our wedding. They'd go clubbing, make out all night, then sleep together. 3. Another sexual experience with a different girlfriend. Because why not, right? 4. That ex I mentioned. At least 3 hookups. But he's got family here, so who knows how many times really. 5. 2 random dudes in nightclub bathrooms. No protection. Within 6 months of our wedding. Let that sink in. 6. Making out with God knows how many people whenever she went out solo. And that's just what she's admitted so far. There's always more, isn't there? I can't even process this mess. This woman's used me, abused me, manipulated me for years. Physically, emotionally, you name it. I took it all because I felt like such a piece of trash for what I'd done. For 7 darn years, she's attacked me nonstop about how I hurt her. Never even pretended to forgive me or move forward. Our marriage has been nothing but pain and misery. I can't wrap my head around it. Yeah, I was a dumbass too. People do stupid stuff. And sounds like she had a blast, so I doubt she regrets any of it. But here's the kicker. I was never wrong. Every time I was suspicious, every time things didn't add up, stuff was going down behind my back. Our early marriage was a nightmare. The hate, the constant lies. Once I caught her booking secret hotels again. She'd lost her job, didn't tell me, then blew what little cash she had on a hotel room, while we were broke as heck and needed her income. Every single time. She'd let me down. So now I can't believe someone who's lied to my face daily would have just stopped because we got hitched. She got away with it for so long. Why stop? Now she's all depressed and ashamed. Says she didn't know what real love was, and now, darn now, she feels it with me. I'm her whole world, apparently. Says she struggled with being bisexual, had to hide it. That's such nonsense. I've always known she was bi, never held it against her. Would have been open to exploring it together, but she keeps using it as an excuse for what she's done, while reminding me she'd never be okay with me being with someone else. The hypocrisy is unreal. A few months back, she wanted to explore with women outside our marriage, but wasn't cool with me doing the same. That's a whole other mess. This has been my life for a week. I'm not handling it well at all. If I'm not drinking, I'm falling apart. I've given this woman everything, and all she's done is take and use it against me. The only thing I know is that I don't know anything, and never will. I don't trust a word she says. She's used stories like this before to break me, only to take it back later. Now I wonder if any of it was ever made up. I work from home, and she's an unemployed bum, around 24/7. So I don't think anything's happened recently. But it feels too late. It'll happen again. It wasn't just a few slip-ups, it was ridiculous. I'm sure it could get worse, and it probably will. How can I have a family with her? There's so much I don't know, not that it matters now, I guess. Two main issues. One, how she's treated me in this marriage. If what she says is true, I never deserved this mess. Two, the complete betrayal from someone I've given everything to. The last thing she's admitted to was 7 years ago, but these 7 years have been hell. I was ready to bail at the rehab stage. It was that bad. I don't know how to survive this. I don't think I'll ever be the same. How do you come back from this? How do you ever trust again? I'm lost, man. Completely messed up. Here's the text with the requested changes. So I'm sitting there trying to process all this crap when Sarah stumbles in one night, wasted as usual. Starts rambling about making things right. Says she'll do anything. And I mean anything. She starts throwing out these insane ideas. Let's have an open marriage. Or, you can sleep with whoever. I won't say anything. Like that'll fix 7 years of lies and cheating. I just stared at her. Is this real? Is this what our messed up marriage is now? Then she drops another one. Apparently her therapist, yeah, the one she never sees, thinks she might have a sex addiction. Fantastic. 7 years in and now she gets a diagnosis? I didn't know whether to laugh or cry, so I did both. Sarah just sat there looking at me like I was the nut job. Next day I needed space. Told Sarah I was crashing at my buddy Mike's for a bit. She flipped out, thought I was bailing for good. Maybe I should have. At Mike's, Sarah blows up my phone. Calls, texts, non-stop. First, it's all sorry and come home. Then it turns. She starts accusing me of cheating. Says I must be out sleeping with someone. The irony's so thick you could choke on it. I ignored her, but then she threatened to come to Mike's. That's when I lost it. Called her back and just unloaded. Told her exactly what I thought of her addiction, her lies, everything. It was ugly. Said stuff I'm not proud of. But damn, it felt good to let it out. Then things got quiet. Too quiet. Started worrying she'd do something dumb. Called her sister to check. Turns out Sarah had split. No one knew where. Part of me was relieved, part freaking out. Despite everything, I still gave a damn about her safety. A day goes by, nothing. About to call the cops when I get a text. From Sarah. Just, I'm sorry. Tried calling back. Voicemail. I'm going nuts, thinking the worst. Finally, she calls. She's at some crappy motel towns away, says she needed to think. I wanted to reach through the phone and shake her. I end up driving there. Don't ask me why. Glutton for punishment, I guess. Find her in this dump of a room, looking like death. She starts apologizing again, but it's different. Not begging, not making excuses. Looks me dead in the eye and says, I think we need to divorce. And you know what? First time in weeks we agree on something. We talk for hours. Really talk. No yelling, no nonsense. Just two people realizing it's over. As I'm leaving, Sarah hands me an envelope. Says, read this later when you're ready. Took it, not sure what to think. Drove home in a daze. It's been days. Sarah's at her sister's while we figure out splitting up. House is quiet. Too quiet. Haven't opened the envelope. Scared of what's inside. More confessions, more lies, or maybe some answers. No clue what's next. Divorce, yeah. But after, I have no idea. All I know is, I'm tired, bone deep exhausted. But for the first time in forever, I can breathe. Maybe there's light at the end of this mess tunnel, or maybe it's another train coming to wreck me. Guess I'll find out soon enough. Been thinking a lot about how we got here, how I let it get this far. There were so many red flags, man, so many. Like the time I found her texting her ex at 2 a.m. She said it was nothing, just catching up. I believed her, idiot. Or when she'd go out with her girls and come home at dawn reeking of booze and smoke. Said they lost track of time. Yeah, right. And the constant mood swings. 1 minute she's all over me, next she's screaming about how I'm ruining her life. Should have seen it then. But I didn't. Or maybe I did, and I just didn't want to face it. Easier to pretend everything was fine, you know? Now I'm left picking up the pieces, trying to figure out who I am without her. It's weird, man. We've been together so long, I don't even know what I like anymore. What music? What food? What do I do for fun? Been hitting the gym a lot. Helps clear my head. Plus, might as well get in shape if I'm gonna be back on the market, right? Geez, that's a terrifying thought. How do you even date after something like this? How do you trust anyone? I keep thinking every woman I meet is gonna be another Sarah, hiding some deep, dark secret, waiting to hurt me. My buddies keep trying to set me up, say I need to get back out there, but I'm not ready, not even close. Some days I think about calling Sarah, asking her why she did it, why she lied for so long, why she couldn't just be honest. But what's the point? Nothing she says is gonna change what happened. Nothing's gonna make it hurt less. Still haven't opened that envelope. It's sitting on my dresser, mocking me. Part of me wants to burn it. Part of me is dying to know what's inside. Talked to a lawyer yesterday. Divorce is gonna be messy. We've got the house, joint accounts, all that stuff. Plus, Sarah's threatening to go after my business. Says she supported me while I built it up. Yeah, by sleeping with half the town behind my back. I'm trying to stay calm, but it's hard. Some days I just want to scream, punch something, break stuff. But I don't. I hold it together. Barely. My mom keeps calling, asking what's going on. I haven't told her everything. How do you tell your mom your wife's been cheating on you for years? That your whole marriage was a lie? So I keep it vague. We're having problems. Taking some time apart. All that nonsense. She knows something's up, though. Moms always know. Work's been a struggle. Can't focus at all. Keep making stupid mistakes. My business partner's been picking up the slack, but I know he's getting frustrated. Can't blame him. Thinking about taking some time off. Maybe go on a trip. Clear my head. Figure out what I want to do with my life now. But then I think about Sarah in our empty house, going through our stuff, and it makes me sick. So I stay. Keep an eye on things. It's messed up, you know? 7 years of marriage, 12 years together total. And it all comes down to this. Dividing up our stuff like we're strangers. I look at our wedding photos and I don't even recognize those people anymore. We looked so happy, so in love. Was any of it real? Or was it all just a big lie? Guess I'll never know. And maybe that's the hardest part of all. Here's the text with the requested changes. All right, so this divorce situation is in full swing now, and it's a complete circus. Sarah's lawyer? Total scumbag. Trying to paint her as some kind of victim. Says I was emotionally unavailable and pushed her into other arms. Yeah, right. Because I forced her to sleep with the whole town. What a load of nonsense. They're going after my business like vultures, saying she deserves half because she supported me emotionally while I built it. Funny? I don't remember her support involving sleeping with my best friend and her ex in our bed. My lawyer says we've got a chance, but it's gonna be a mess. All our dirty laundry hanging out for everyone to gawk at. Every lie, every backstab, all of it on record. Makes me want to throw up. Had to do this deposition thing last week. Hours of digging through the cesspool of our marriage. When it all went wrong every time I thought something was off. Like picking at a scab that never healed. Sarah was there, right across the table. First time I'd laid eyes on her since that messed up grocery store moment. She looked different. Sober, maybe. Hair all pulled back, no makeup on her face. Kept trying to catch my eye, but I couldn't even look at her without wanting to flip the table. After, she tried to corner me. spewing sorries and I'm getting helps and can we be civils. I just walked. What's the point in talking? It's all nonsense anyway. Got the house up for sale. Feels like a kick in the gut seeing that sign, but it's gotta go. Too much history, too much crap. Went through our stuff last weekend. Keep or trash, that was the game. Found our wedding album stuffed in the back of a closet. Flipped through it like an idiot. We looked so darn happy. So in love. Was any of it real? Or were we just playing house this whole time? Tossed that album in the trash where it belongs. Couldn't stand looking at those lies anymore. Tom, that backstabbing jerk, tried to reach out. Voicemail about wanting to apologize face to face. Deleted that stuff before he could finish talking. Forget him and the horse he rode in on. Work's the only thing keeping me sane. Got this new project that's taking off. Feels good to have something that's mine, you know? Something Sarah can't get her claws into. Still beating the crap out of the gym equipment daily. Added boxing to the mix. Great for the rage. Plus, if I ever run into Tom, I'll be ready to rearrange his face properly. This therapy thing is weird as heck. Probably doing some good, but it feels like pulling teeth. All this talk about feelings and stuff, not my style at all. But I'm showing up. Gotta sort out this mess in my head somehow. Had my first panic attack the other day. Freaked me out completely. At a bar with work buddies. Saw some woman from behind who looked like Sarah. Suddenly couldn't breathe. Felt like the walls were coming down on me. Had to run out of there like crazy. Scared me badly. Didn't know I was that messed up, you know? Guess there's more crap to deal with than I thought. My sister crashed at my place for a bit. Nice having someone around. Makes the house feel less like a tomb. She's been pushing me to start dating. Says I need to get back on the horse. But the thought of it makes me want to throw up. How the heck do you trust anyone after this? How do you let someone in when you're this messed up? It's like asking for more pain. Sarah keeps trying to reach out. Texts, emails, even a darn letter. I'm ignoring all of it. Part of me wants to know what nonsense she's spinning now. But the smarter part knows it's all just more lies. The guys at work threw this divorce party thing. Weird as heck. Celebrating the end of my marriage? Not sure how to feel about that. Got wasted. Ended up dumping all my problems on some random woman at the bar. Told her everything. Sarah, the cheating, all of it. She just listened, didn't judge. Felt kinda good to talk to someone who didn't know all the players. Woke up with her number in my phone. No clue if I'll use it. Not sure I'm ready for whatever that might turn into. So here I am, almost divorced. Single, I guess. Trying to figure out who I am without Sarah, without all the lies and nonsense. It's a nightmare most days. But I'm still here, still fighting. One day at a time, right? All right, buckle up. It's been a few months since I last spilled my guts and things are still a roller coaster, but maybe the cart's not flying off the tracks anymore. The divorce finally wrapped up. What a mess. Sarah fought like a rabid raccoon for every cent, but my lawyer, bless that shark in a suit, pulled through. Kept my business, thank goodness. Lost the house, but you know what? Good riddance. Place was haunted by Sarah's nonsense anyway. Moved into this new apartment. It's no mansion, but it's all mine. No Sarah-shaped shadows lurking in the corners. Went full new life, new me, and bought all new stuff. Even splurged on one of those fancy mattresses that remembers you or whatever. Best sleep I've had since this storm started. Work's been my lifeline. Buried myself in it like it's the last lifeboat on the Titanic. That new project? It's blowing up. We're talking serious cash now. Part of me wants to rub Sarah's nose in it, show her what she threw away. But I'm trying to be the bigger person. Some days it works better than others. Still beating the crap out of gym equipment daily. The boxing? Turns out I've got a talent for hitting things. Who knew? Trainer says I could go pro if I wanted. Maybe I will. Be nice to have a goal that doesn't involve piecing my life back together. Therapy's, well, it's still therapy. Feels like pulling teeth sometimes, but I'm starting to get it. Digging through all the stuff in my head, figuring out why I let Sarah walk all over me for so long. Why I ignored more red flags than a Chinese parade. It sucks, but I think it's doing some good. Had another panic attack. This time at some fancy work do. Some lady was wearing Sarah's perfume and bam. Instant meltdown. Had to hide in the bathroom till it passed. Mortifying as heck, but my boss was cool about it. Offered me some time off, didn't take it, but it was decent of him. Oh, and get this, remember that woman from the bar? The one who got front row seats to my pity party? Turns out she works for one of our client companies. Ran into her at a meeting. Talk about awkward. But she was chill about it. We grabbed coffee after. Kept it professional, but it was nice. Felt almost normal, you know? Sarah's still trying to worm her way back in. Sent some sob story email on our would-be anniversary. All, I'm sorry and I'm still in therapy and hope you can forgive me someday. Deleted that faster than a virus email. Maybe I'll forgive her when hell freezes over. Tom, that backstabbing jerk, had the nerve to show up at my new place. No idea how he found me. Tried to do the whole face-to-face apology thing. I punched him. Felt amazing for about 3 seconds. Then I just felt drained. Told him if he ever darkened my door again, he'd get worse. Think he got the message. My sister's been a rock through all this. Calls every day, making sure I haven't drunk myself into a coma or whatever. Even set me up on a blind date. It was a disaster, but I appreciate the effort. Not ready to jump back in that pool yet, but it's good to know someone's got my back. Started seeing this financial wizard. With the business booming, I want to make sure I'm not wasting it all away. Maybe I'll buy a place again someday. A real home this time, not some compromise with a lying, cheating... Well, you get the idea. Been doing a lot of thinking about what's next. It's scary as heck, but also kind of exciting. For the first time in forever, I feel like I've got options. Like I can do anything, be anyone. Sky's the limit, right? Join this amateur boxing league at the gym. It's nothing fancy, but it's a blast. Good way to work out the demons, meet some new faces. Plus, it's nice to have something to look forward to that doesn't involve spreadsheets or wallowing in misery. Mom swooped in for a week, turned my bachelor pad into a spotless wonder, stuffed my freezer with enough home cooking to last till doomsday. Tried to set me up with her friend's kid. Awkward city, but her heart's in the right place. Just wants her boy happy again, you know? Speaking of happy, I'm starting to have moments where I actually feel it. They don't last long, but they're there. Times when I'm not drowning in thoughts of Sarah or the divorce or how everything went wrong. Baby steps, right? 1 year post-disaster, and the transformation is mind-blowing. Divorce? Done and dusted. Sarah's vanished from my life. Rumor has it she's still in therapy. Not my circus anymore. Work's on fire. Our project exploded into something huge. We're going global, from zero to hero in 12 months. Who'd have guessed? Gym's still my second home. Boxing became my therapy. Nabbed a few amateur wins. It's about mental strength now, not just punching out frustrations. Actual therapy's been a game changer. Unraveled why I let Sarah walk all over me. Why I was blind to the obvious. Tough road, but worth every step. Anxiety's mostly history. Learn to tame it. Those breathing exercises? They're not hogwash after all. Bar lady? We're an item now, taking baby steps. She knows my story, doesn't flinch. It's a breath of fresh air. Tom's out of the picture. No tears shed there. New digs, new me, no Sarah-shaped shadows here. Clean slate all the way. Sis has loosened the reins. Trusts I won't self-destruct, says I'm a new man. Maybe she's right. That money guru? Best call I ever made. Finances are shipshape. Future's looking stable. Still throwing punches, but for the brotherhood now, not glory. Mom's matchmaking days are over. Think she's cottoned on that I'm not a lost cause anymore. Happiness? It's becoming my default setting. Still have off days, but they're as rare as hen's teeth now. Started giving back at a shelter. Puts things in perspective, you know? Future's not scary anymore. It's exciting. Got dreams, got plans. Feeling alive again. Sarah crosses my mind sometimes. But it's just a twinge now, not a stabbing pain. Those wedding photos? Can barely recognize that guy. He's history. New Jake's wiser, tougher. A year back, thought I was done for. Happy, trusting, seemed impossible. Yet here I am, doing both. It was hell. Wanted to throw in the towel some days. But I stuck it out. Now, I'm thankful for it all. The hurt led me here, to this life I've carved out. Not saying I'm glad it happened, but I'm damn glad I survived it. So here I stand. Older, wiser, still kicking. Not just existing, but thriving. Life's good. Not perfect, but good. And I'm pumped for what's next. To anyone in the trenches, hold on, it gets better. You're tougher than you know. Me? I'm all about the future now. New adventures, new challenges, new life. I'm ready. Bring it on. Jake 2. 0 is just getting warmed up.